Hi! I've been making a lot of bottoms. I've made skirts, trousers, a pair of culottes. So I want a nice top that goes with everything. So I'm making a top in a white cotton. The other day I was having a look on ASOS and I really like this top. It's a crop top, it's quite loose, it's not very tight, and it's very dressy because it has a nice ruffle on the front. It has a zipper on the back, but I don't like it a lot, so I'm going to put it on the side. And you can see there are no seams to be seen. So to do that, we're going to make some facings, but we're going to make like a whole facing. And this is my fabric. I showed it the other day on my haul, and it's simple. It's just cotton. Not much to it, but it's nice and cool for the summer. Taking our measurements, we're going to cut 4 panels of our fabric of choice. We're going to add darts to the 2 front panels we have, and we're going to sew together one front and one back. We'll make a ruffle from a rectangle and we'll pin it onto the blouse. Cutting on that edge and folding back so we can sew it to get that nice clean look. We'll make the lining like we did the blouse and we'll put it on top of our blouse. To sew the facing on the neckline that we will pull inside the neck and outside the side to be able to sew the hemline. And then we'll hand stitch the armholes. To cut your fabric, you can use different techniques. If you have a mannequin, you can model it on top. If you have a pattern you've used for a dress, for example, you can figure it out how to cut it with that. You can even transform the pattern. And you can also use a t-shirt you have, allowing more space. Because it's not a tight t-shirt, it's a loose top. Or you can take measurements and making from nothing, which is what we're going to do. Because if you have a mannequin or if you have a pattern, you're not watching this, are you? Step 1, measure ourselves. We're going to take only 2 measurements, around our chest and from our neck down to our waist, or where we want the top to land on. My measurements are 86 by 44, but I'm going to give it 90, so I have space for the zip to work with that and for the ruffle, because we're going to cut the front, so the ruffle is hidden, so we'll need more space for that. Step 2, cutting our fabric. Take into account that even though we measure the 90 centimeters, our panels, front and back, are going to be half of that. So we're going to cut 45 centimeters. And now that we have our 4 panels cut, we're going to measure a little around the neck and shoulder area so it fits properly. We're going to fold one of the panels in half, and I'm going to give it 10 centimeters for the neck and another 10 for the neckline. It is sleeveless, so it's going to be, I want it 5 centimeters on the shoulder. And when you draw the shape, take into account to lower 1 centimeter so the shoulder rests properly. And this pattern block is the one that we're going to use as a pattern for the other 3. And now that we have them cut, we're going to leave them there and go to step 3, which is the ruffle. We are going to use some of the leftover material, I hope you have. And for that we're going to use it folded, as if we're going to make a waistband, and we're going to sew the 2 ends so the seams are hidden. I seem to say that quite a lot, don't I? Well, you don't want to see seams anyway. And how are we going to fix our ruffle in the pattern? We're going to cut it open. Our ruffle is finished. It looks nice because I took the time to iron it properly. You can add some lining, but I don't think it's necessary because this cotton is quite stiff. And now we have Marie Antoinette here as a guest. Because the ruffle goes on here and we don't want to see any seams, we are going to have to cut in half so we can put it in so you don't see anything. But before we do that, we will have to add the darts on the side if we want to put together the front and back. You can see now the t-shirt is looking a bit loose because it's not properly attached, but if you want it to come back, you'll see this baggy bit, and this is what the dart's going to avoid. You need the armhole area to go on its place, and then underneath you're going to make the dart. This is an adjustable mannequin, but if you don't have one, even if you put it on top, you'll see how the dart's going to form naturally, and you're going to follow that shape. And now that Marie Antoinette has shown us how the darts look, we're going to put together one front and one back so we can add the ruffle. Take into account that we're only sewing 3 little bits, one shoulder, 2 shoulders and one side, because the other side has the zipper, so we don't need to sew it right now. So I'm trying it on. I'm sideways because this side is open. It's where the zipper goes. Next step, the ruffle. It looks a bit weird, and now that I have sewn the blouse, I'm going to cut it right open, but it makes sense, I promise. Because we want the ruffle to go around the shoulder, we needed the blouse to be sewn, the front and back. And because we wanted to be like included, like have this clean look, that it came like that with the blouse, we don't want it to be just sewn on top. We need to cut so we can make like a little sandwich and sew everything together. So I'm going to pin it to see where I want it, then I'm going to cut right on the edge and sew everything. Ooh, scary. And now that we have all of this looking so terrible, let's sew it back together. We're going to make our sandwich, and once we fold it back, the ruffle will be in. Look how good Maria Antonietta is looking, eh? Ha! On flick. The theory was right. I managed to put the ruffle in and it looks like it's always been there, which was the point. And on the back I took it to one side. This is open because the zipper is going there. And now what we're going to do, next step is to do the lining. The lining is the same, it's like a second t-shirt from the same material. And I have my lining ready. And you say, oh, how silly, you saw it on the wrong side, this is the zipper. No, because we are going to leave the nice side, the right side, inside, so we see it. And the seams will get in with the other seams. Seams with seams, so we don't see them. And now we're going to do the facings. This is like a big facing. And the problem is that I've done facings before and it's quite easy because, for example, if you want facing on your neck, you just sew along the neck and then put it in and iron it and you don't see anything. But the problem is that you can't, or I can't get my head around doing it with a whole garment. Because once you sew the neckline and the armholes, you can't put it right in, it's impossible. So I'm going to do the neckline and I think I can do the hem from the zip side. But the armholes I think are going to be hand stitched. I was right and I could only do the neckline and the hem at the bottom like facings, and it looks really nice, starting to look really nice. So now what I'm going to do is iron it so it looks neat, and sew the zip and the armholes. So if anyone knows a method of sewing a lining like a facing so you don't see any seams, please let me know, because this is the best I could do. And now that I have all my pins in, I'm going to sew the zip on the machine, and I have one of these foots that have only one side for zippers. So and now what I have left to do is to sew by hand all the armhole area. So B-roll of me sewing by hand in 3, 2, 1. That's 1, 2, 3, but in 3, 2, 1. Like in the last video I made, we're going to do the same hand stitching, which is the invisible one. So we're going to go through one of the two sides, we're going to sew, we're going to cross, and then we're going to go down the same one, and then cross and down the same one, to make sort of a ladder, and then when we pull the thread at the end, it's going to disappear. I always start this part saying I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I am. I'm really happy about how it's looking. The only thing is that I think I was a bit conservative with the size of my ruffle. I think 1 centimeter more would have made a whole difference to it. I think it looks nice, but it's a bit on the safe side. And I made it in white because I wanted to match other projects I have plans for. I love seeing a picture as inspiration and trying to recreate the look or the garment, and it takes a bit of time in thinking about how you're going to do it, the steps you will have to take. I think all these pieces are really special and are something that I'll always cherish, so I'm really happy about it. I couldn't get one of those zippers that come apart completely, so I think that will be a much better addition, but mine is okay. It's no problem putting it on and taking it off. And let me know then in the comments if you know how to make a lining as a whole facing thing, because I couldn't, and I saw the armholes by hand, but it's okay, it looks nice. I'm getting much better at that. So thank you again for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it and it's an inspiration and you think, well, if she was able to do it, I can manage. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss all the things I'm going to make and how I'll combine this with a skirt in the near future. Bye!